everyone, Kevin back once again with my 1, 2, 3 cents. It's been a while. I've kind of decided to get away from the crazy characters and just go back to a plain old me kind of talking format. So hopefully you'll enjoy and subscribe and let your friends know about my 1, 2, 3 cents, not only here on YouTube, but also on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Blogspot. We are on blogger.com. Just look for my123cents.blogspot.com, or also just hit up my123cents.com and get more information about our website. So I want to get into the new changes that are happening now on WWE Raw and Smackdown. On Monday night, we heard from Triple H, the COO of the company, who has decided now that there's going to be a Super Raw and a Super Smackdown show where basically the brand extension has essentially come to an end. And I think that right now that makes sense to do that. I think they're still looking for ways to change things up since Vince McMahon is no longer the on-camera presence who is in charge of the company. This is yet another change that they can attribute to somebody outside of Vince McMahon. So it's interesting to see some of the things that they've got the ball in motion and are changing things. Of course, the Raw general manager is gone now. I wonder what this will mean for Teddy Long as far as his future as the general manager on SmackDown. I also wonder what this is going to mean for the title situation. The World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship, obviously the two big titles from each show. Then you have the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. The tag team titles were defended on both shows anyway. So I would like to see the World Championship kind of take precedence here and maybe turn the WWE title into a television championship and then consolidate the United States and the Intercontinental titles under the Intercontinental title banner. Simply because it is WWE, the Intercontinental title has been with the WWE all along, except for that brief period where they suspended the title and didn't have it anymore. But I'd rather see him go in that kind of direction, I think, at this point. And I'll tell you, mixed feelings about the brand extension ending, or at least temporarily ending, and maybe they won't merge the titles if this is only going to be a temporary thing. But if they do the permanent extension, I would like to see one world champion, a TV champion perhaps, and then an Intercontinental champion merged from that United States and Intercontinental titles. Kind of a throwback to the old NWA days as well. The brand extension, I think, kind of ran its course, and I don't think that WWE really was behind the brand extension from the get-go. In my opinion, it should have been two separate shows. They should have had two separate announce teams, two separate sets of backstage interviewers, wrestlers not appearing on either show from week to week. And that was pretty much how it had gone from the beginning. We were seeing appearances on both shows, especially when they would do like a 3-hour Raw. And I understand that we're trying to generate star power and do other things, but I think that to have made it really, truly a success, the brand extension should have been Raw wrestlers exclusive to Raw, SmackDown wrestlers exclusive to SmackDown, all across the board. And almost treated it as if it were a competing company, Raw versus SmackDown in the literal sense, like we saw WCW versus WWE or NWA versus WWF way back in the 1980s and 1990s. So it was kind of a fail from the start. I understand why they were doing it. I even enjoyed the concept of doing every other pay-per-view, a SmackDown pay-per-view 1 month, then a Raw pay-per-view, and then on the big ones, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, kind of combining and having matches from both shows. And then they kind of got away from that too in the last few years. So I'm excited to see what this change is going to mean. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the titles and going to see what's going to happen with the superstars, because my other concern now is that, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, CM Punk, am I missing anyone? Those are your big guys that are on every week. Alberto Del Rio and Christian and I guess now Mark Henry to an extent. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen Will the guys who aren't on TV very often, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, Tyler Rex, yeah, he's still around, are these guys going to be even more forgotten than they were before? It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Triple H getting back in the ring at Night of Champions. I'll comment more on that when Night of Champions gets a little closer. But I'd really be interested to hear what you think, so please leave a comment here on YouTube, or like I said, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or go to my123cents.com for more information. Thanks for watching.